It's going pretty good. Every day's Monday.
Welcome to the good life, right?
Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
sure. How
Yeah.
about you?
Day's going great, man. Got out for a little bike ride and just kind of getting it all done. There's always stuff to do. You know how it goes.
Yeah. What kind
Yeah.
of bike?
I'm on a 29er mountain bike, hardtail, no shocks, single speed. And I like to ride it up and down Flagstaff Mountain just about every day. So yeah, man, it's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's like a dirt bike. I feel like a kid on it.
Yeah, that's actually funny. That's how Rick and I met. Rick is the owner of XOSKIN.
Okay.
This all started over a flat tire. I got
Really?
a flat tire one day, forgot my bike, tool bag,
Okay.
and was walking back to my car down this road, and he just happened to pick me up. And here we are, about 10 years later.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, okay. So he picked you up from, having a flat tire, but how did that lead to XOSKIN and all you guys' successes?
Sure. Great question. We were chatting on way back to my car where he dropped me off. And, I was just interested to, learn a little bit more about who he was, what he did. He gave me his business card because he talked a little bit about, his textiles business and background. So when I got home, I pulled up his website later that evening. And it was so funny. I said to my wife, I was like, I want to work for this guy. At the time, I was in pharmaceutical sales.
Okay.
And part of his business dealt with the medical side. So because one of the patented yarns is copper has a lot of properties that lend itself to healing, skin health and wellness. And some of the pictures on his website were very compelling because, it related to what I did in the pharmaceutical field, where I was selling products for patients who had diabetes. And a lot of times they suffer from wounds, especially on their feet, because of nerve damage. And they're constantly fighting to, keep their feet healthy,
Sure.
or keep their feet, because a lot of times they face amputations and so on and so forth. So that's kind of where the interest on my part came. And XOSKIN wasn't even in his mind.
Sure.
His main business was selling his patented yarns to other brands for them to use in their products. So he worked with companies in bedding, companies in athletics. And that's really where his interest is because, being a mountain biker, he was formerly in the military. After he got out of the Army, he went to work for the war and developed products for the DoD. So he just had a really rich and interesting background, and someone who loves to teach and share their knowledge. And I'm the type of person that I like to learn and, have someone like him as a mentor to kind of, help me understand why his products work the way they did.
Yeah.
He became frustrated working with major label brands, especially in the athletic side, where they want to use a little bit of technology and a whole lot of creative marketing to push their products.
Okay.
And he became frustrated. He's worked with brands, Asics currently uses his yarn in their socks, a little bit of toe, Adidas, Merrell. They're all brands that use a little bit of his technology. And his vision for XOSKIN was created a technology company that's focused on athletic.
Yeah. And you guys have succeeded in doing that. It's pretty crazy. Like when I first heard of you guys, I think I'd already started this podcast, But yeah, like I'd heard of you guys on other podcasts, and I heard that this stuff is fantastic. You don't chafe, you don't have any smells. You can wear them several days in a row if you're out camping, and they're not going to smell. And I thought, okay, this sounds great. So I got a pair from you. You were kind enough to send me a pair, and I love these shorts, but I have a hard time figuring out why I love them. And if I was going to explain to someone else why I like them so much, I don't know what words I would use, because it's like they're just like a secret weapon. They're just these fantastic shorts. I love training in them. I love running in them. So if you wouldn't mind, like, explain some of what's behind all of that. There's the seamless knitting and the rapid copper technology. So, and those are just words to me. So would you mind explaining some of that?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. There's a couple things there. You mentioned seamless. We are the only seamless athletic apparel brand in the United States. And there's not, there's other apparel brands, obviously, but no one else is doing seamless. It comes down to the type of knitting, the materials we use, and the fit that you get with a seamless piece of apparel. When it fits right, you should forget that you're even wearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's like.
So, it's like, I just lost my train of thought. Are you going to be able to edit this?
Of course I can, but I usually don't. I like to leave all the little everything in there. But no,
that's not a problem. So, getting back to your point, it's the fit, the feel, and the materials. When something fits the way it should, or when it moves with you and not against you.
Right.
That's where the benefit of how it feels comes into play. The materials we use. So there's two patented yarns that we use. The first one is PTFE, or polytetrafluoroethylene. PTFE is found in products that we use on a daily basis.
Okay.
So Glide dental floss, Gore-Tex, synthetic engine oils, implants that are placed inside the body. Teflon is a formulation of PTFE. So, we come in contact with this chemical compound throughout our daily lives, but we don't really think about it. And the benefit of it is two things. It's very hydrophobic, meaning it hates moisture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very slick. So the coefficient of friction is very minimal. So that's how we're able to provide a benefit of virtually eliminating chafing. I'm never going to sit here and tell you, oh, wear our shorts or our socks or shirt, and you're never going to chafe. I can't guarantee that. There's too many variables.
Right.
But the benefit of PTFE is it will, even if it's wet, it's still going to feel like it's dry. Yeah. Because it's constantly trying to pull moisture away from your skin. Mm-hmm. This seamless knitting, it's not just your flat jersey knit. You mentioned cycling, cycling jerseys, very flimsy piece of material. Our knit has like volume to it. So there's different knits patterns throughout the garment. The shorts you mentioned, I believe the ones that I sent you, they have some vertical lines or ribs.
Yep.
That all creates air channels within the garment.
Okay.
So that allows for better circulation, better moisture movement. So that's another benefit. Just trying to think. I lost my train of thought again.
And you guys have all this patented. This is your particular brand. This is your style.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is Rick's design. Okay. He works with, we have two knitters. One is in Florida. The other is in North Carolina. The knitter in Florida does everything but our toe socks. So shirts, sleeves, shorts, tights, and traditional socks all come from here in Florida.
Okay.
So, and then toe socks come from North Carolina.
In the beginning stages of this business, this journey, were you guys looking at providing clothes for runners and ultra runners, or were you thinking cyclists and weightlifters? And because now all sorts of athletes are using your stuff. Did it start just as running apparel, or how did it begin?
I think his vision in the beginning was, an all-around piece of apparel that you could use virtually in any activity, whether that be just a casual walk in the gym, at work, or running. I think we kind of fell into running, so to speak. I did, like I said before, I didn't have a background in sports business or apparel. So really what I did when he gave me the first couple of pieces, which were shirts, that's the first product he developed.
Okay.
I took it to a local doctor who also happened to run or own a local running store. And he's known throughout the country in terms of, his ability to help people run better. He's a lifelong runner, and people trust him. So I got this piece of apparel, and Rick has been talking all about the benefits and everything of it. And I was like, I don't know. I'm going to take it to this guy I know, and I didn't really know Mark. I knew of him, but I didn't know him personally. So I figured he would give me an objective assessment of the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Took it in, walked in the store, and he wasn't there. Obviously, he was a medical doctor during the day. Just talked to his staff, told them about it. And I said, I'd like him to try it. And here's my number. And about a week or so later, I got a call, and he's like, I love this shirt. It's amazing. And that's kind of how it started. So the vision early on was for us to work with independent retailers and give them a product that their customers couldn't find anywhere else, because we weren't currently selling online. Mm-hmm. And we tried that for a while, and it didn't work for a number of reasons. And a lot of it was our fault, not having the right product mix, not being able to open up enough stores. And it just wasn't growing at the rate we needed it to grow.
What year was this?
Go ahead.
What year was this?
This was like 2016.
16. Okay. So not that long ago.
No.
Okay.
No. So, was it growing at the rate we needed it to? So then I took a look at some of the other brands in the industry and kind of, what are they doing? How are they doing it? And who is successful? And obviously, a lot of brands have ambassador groups. Mm-hmm. And that was really a great way for us to meet people who were active in their community, love the sport. So I started, really what I did, I trolled people on social media, namely Facebook, because Facebook was so popular at the time. Instagram really wasn't popular, or at least for me. Mm-hmm. I started looking at running groups on Facebook, and I would literally cold call people through Facebook Messenger. I would send them a link to the website. If we had mutual friends, I knew about us. And that's how I started the ambassador group for XOSKIN.
Wow.
It took a while, but then it started to snowball.
Yeah. How many ambassadors do you guys have now? Do you have any idea?
I should know this because I'm it's somewhere around 125, 150.
Nice. Okay.
People come, people go. We still have a large group the core group that started with us back in 2017. And,
Cool.
we're so blessed and thankful for them because they, in those early stages, they were our voice. We didn't advertise at all. So, and then, podcast, and I hope it's okay if I name drop here.
Yeah.
We didn't start advertising really till the fall of 2018.
Wow.
And there again, I contacted Rob Steger, Training for Ultra, and a couple other podcasts, and chatted with each of them. And Rick was like, "Well, let's pick one and try it." And it just so happened it coincided with Rob running Moab 240.
Oh, perfect timing.
So that was probably the longest weekend of my life and his when he ran that race, because we talked on the phone. I told him all about the gear. We sent him some toe socks and sleeves, and he wore them. He had a couple weeks to try them prior to Moab, and he went and ran the race and didn't have any problems with his feet, and loved the socks. And it's like, yeah, I'd love to have you guys come on board.
Cool.
And we've been on his podcast ever since.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and so do you guys do any other marketing? Do you guys do any other advertising, or is it pretty much strictly through your ambassador program and podcasts?
Those are the primary vehicles we use for advertising.
That's awesome.
We've tried some on social media and with mixed results.
Yeah.
And, we're a small brand.
Yeah.
We wear a lot of hats, and right now, the formula works. I'll never say, we won't look at other, advertising avenues in the future, like print or something like that. But, podcasts are where it's at for us, because you guys have an audience and they trust you. And, most of our podcasters, they obviously, they wear and they love our stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why we're talking today.
Totally. So you said the shirt was the very first product that Rick came up with. Were the shorts next, or and I'm also a big, you mentioned the exo toes as well. The socks that are similar to the Ingenjis, but I like you guys is better. What was next? Was it the shorts, or how did the evolution go as far as the apparel?
Sure. Shorts were next.
Okay.
And the version was what we now call the max compression short. Shortly after that, we developed socks, traditional socks. So we started with ankle, crew, and graduated compression. The quarter crew came after that, and then a no-show. Toe socks didn't happen until 2018.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and there again, we are the only toe sock manufacturer in the United States.
Ah, cool.
So,
okay.
And you mentioned the other brands. I'm not here to knock them. I would love to have their market share. But in the end, it comes down to design and materials, just like we talked about with the shorts.
Yeah. Well, you guys have what feels like to me is like a very grassroots feel. It feels like you guys are a small business that isn't trying to sell out, isn't trying to grow too big. You're a small business, but you're small and sturdy. It feels like you guys have a place in the running community and the entire workout world. Really, people are wearing your stuff in the gym and cycling and everything. But it feels very grassroots and sturdy, just from my point of view. So I don't know how you take that, but like what's the vision? Like, where do you see yourself in this business, XOSKIN, in 5-10 years?
Yeah, it's a great question and great comment. Thank you for recognizing that, without our customers and our community, we wouldn't be here. We are very hands-on in terms of how we approach those that come in contact with the company. I was just, before we hopped on, I was just sitting at my desk, handwriting notes on receipts to every customer. We still do that. We're in year 5.
Wow.
And during the holiday sale, it's taking a significant amount of time, which is a great problem to have. I would say, I think at the end of the day, for us, and for me especially, it's about the people. It's, getting a call or an email, and trying, finding someone who maybe they're having problems with their feet, and we're able to help that customer and help them run either pain-free or without getting blisters or without having chafing. And that's really what jazzes me about my job, is being able to help people keep them comfortable is what it boils down to. Yeah. If I do my job, you're comfortable and you can focus on your training or your race, as opposed to how crummy your apparel make you feel.
True. Yeah.
So, and then in terms of where we see ourselves, the goal is to obviously grow the business, but to be quite honest, we just want to become more of a household name in terms of the running community, but we don't have any plans. You will never see our apparel, never say never, on Amazon. We plan on staying an independent brand.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. That takes guts nowadays. That takes resilience. And that is noteworthy right there. I mean, hats off to you guys. That's commendable. You mentioned that you don't really have a background in athletics and you don't really have a background in business. So what is your background, Kroy? And you kind of mentioned how you got into this world, but did you ever expect to end up in a sports apparel world?
No, it was very serendipitous. No, my business background, I have 20 plus years in sales. Prior to that, I was in mechanical engineering and design. I got bored, which prompted me to get into sales. Did I ever see no, it was just by chance. And, those first couple interactions with Rick and the potential, because basically what would happen is we would meet up a couple times and go riding during the week, and he would talk, we'd talk shop, or he would talk shop, and I would ask questions about textiles just because I like to learn. And it was fascinating because, he was working on another venture prior to XOSKIN. They were doing socks and compression sleeves, but it wasn't for the athletic market. And that failed. So he took the lessons learned from that and kind of applied that to, how and when he started XOSKIN. And I was at a point in my career where I was ready for a change. I've worked for relatively small companies. I've worked for big corporations. The other thing that gets me jazzed in the morning to start work is the fact that this is a very small company. There's not a lot of rules. There's just a number to meet. And when something needs done, you just find a way to do it.
Right.
And, there's no, well, let me call marketing, or let me call human resources. No, it's, let's figure this out and get it done.
Yeah. How many people do you guys have employed?
Because we're privately held, let's see, how do I answer that? Less than 10.
Wow. So you
Now,
are,
that being said, there are a lot of people outside of XOSKIN because, of the manufacturing chain. So
sure.
our suppliers, our knitters, the, there's hundreds of people that we rely on to create our products.
Yeah.
But XOSKIN as a brand is less than 10 people.
Okay. Gotcha. And this all started from a flat tire.
And then, I said I didn't have a background in sports. My athletic background, I was a cyclist. I don't have a lot of time to ride, so I'm kind of jealous that you're talking about riding a single speed. Of all the mountain bikes I own, the one I missed the most was my single speed.
Really?
Yeah,
It's just such a fun bike.
It's I called it the truth.
Yes.
Because regardless, technology influences our lives. Whether it's the shoes you're wearing, the bike you're riding.
Yep.
I have an Ellsworth full suspension that I called my midlife crisis bike, and I've spent a lot of miles on that bike. But when you climb on the single speed, there's no hiding.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, technology's great. I'm all for advancement in technology, but yeah, sometimes it's nice just to strip it all down to the bare bones essentials and just go for it. I mean, same thing with trail running. I love going out with a pair of shorts and shoes, and that's it. Like I might get some water from a stream along the way, and I might not. And I love just stripping it down to the essentials.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm pumped about with you guys is the wool toe socks, and that's a pretty new thing for you guys, right?
They just came out yesterday.
Yeah. So
I got one right now.
I'm excited about the Kroy wool toe socks, and those are still on the way, right? You guys don't have the Kroy ones yet?
We don't. This is a funny story. So we started this project 3 years ago to create wool toe socks.
Really?
And, we didn't spend an entire year on it, but, in order, let's say, for instance, this version that we just came out with, we started the design or the redesign back in June. And we got the first samples, tried them on, made some adjustments, so on and so forth. So from June to November, that's how long it took. So we did that the previous 2 years prior, and we would get the ankle, the quarter Kroy would be done, and then it went to the Kroy and something failed with that version. And then the next year it was something with the quarter Kroy. And we just, we ran out of time because, a wool toe sock is probably going to be used fall, winter, and maybe some in the spring. Obviously some folks will wear them year round, but we had other projects that were taking priority. So yeah, this is third time's the charm came true with ours. So to answer your question, Kroy version of the wool toe socks, we hope to have those 1 to 2 weeks.
Nice.
I always hedge my bets in textiles. I've learned the hard way. Don't count those chickens before they're
right.
It's snuck up and bit us in the past. So.
Sure. Yeah. You just never know when you're relying on other people. There's always room for error there, unfortunately. But yeah, like I am a fan these days. The older I get, I guess I'm 46. I like paying a couple extra bucks for something that's going to last me a really long time. Outside of the running world, I've just recently gotten into raw selvage denim, like this pair of jeans I'm wearing, and they cost a couple extra bucks, but it's a thick pair of denim that's going to last me a long time, and they age really well too. And so that's just the kind of stuff that I like to buy. I've been, I've gone the route of, oh, these shorts are on sale. They're only $20 a piece. You can get them online, but they only last you a year, Yeah. And I don't know exactly what feedback you guys have gotten. You've obviously been around your product longer than I have, but this seems like a pair of shorts that's going to hold up for a long time. Like I've already put them through a beating, and as long as there's not an accidental rip from a fall or something like that, this seems like a short that's going to last a really long time. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I cuss Rick sometimes for creating products that last too long.
I think,
And even if you do accidentally rip it, I have a long sleeve shirt that's probably 5, 6 years old.
okay.
And I was mountain biking one day and I didn't see a limb hanging over the trail. And it went in the arm of the shirt and tore a hole in it. And I just never did anything about it. It still has like a quarter size hole right in the bicep. It hasn't grown any further.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's one thing that customers love about the products is they generally last a very long time. You know, do things break? Do things tear? Yes, they do. We do our best to honor, our commitment to our customers. We replace things even sometimes when it's not our fault.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make things, do the best job we can to make things right.
Mm-hmm.
Along those lines, if I can, sizing with our apparel is unique.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So
But you guys are very accommodating with the sizing before the order even takes place. Like, I think that when we first reached out to you, it was my wife, Beth, and she said, I want to order a pair of shorts. And right away, you or somebody got back to her and said, okay, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? Because the smalls might not fit you exactly right. So yeah, tell us about the sizing.
sure. Well, because seamless apparel is inherently form fitting, like we can't create a pair of shorts that would be baggy. We could, but they would be, they'd have to be cut apart, sewn back together, and that's not really where we're at right now. So that's why I asked for the body measurements. The other thing is we are, and I myself included, we are accustomed to the sizing that the apparel industry as a whole wants to make us think we're a certain size. And myself, case in point, I put out a video back over the summer before we released a new short. Because, when we do see, especially in shorts, when we do see a seam failure, a lot of time it's a sizing issue and not so much the fault of the seam. That's not to say the customer didn't buy the right size. It just, they may need a different size for their body type. So case in point, like I can wear like size 34 jeans. So if I go to the XOSKIN website and order a pair of shorts, I might get a medium, might get a large. In our shorts, I wear an extra large.
Okay.
Because in reality, my waist is more like 41 inches.
Right.
Not 34.
Yeah, it's like the vanity sizing. Going back to the denim, that's a thing that I noticed. I measured my waist and it's like 36, but I ordered a pair of 32 jeans, So, yeah, I don't know what that is, but vanity sizing.
Yeah, when I had never measured my waist recently, so it was funny. I was in the area where we mountain bike, and I just set up the tripod to do this video, put it out on social, and I'm standing there, and I'm along the road, but I'm standing there with a measuring tape, measuring my own waist, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not 30, I'm not 34 waist. So to your point, a lot of times, when I see orders come in, I look for orders. Especially if somebody orders a small short, I typically reach out to those folks and say, thank you for the order. Just want to verify your size before we ship it out, just because we want to make that experience the best possible experience for the customer. And I'd rather ask the question up front and save them money on shipping, back a return, or exchange.
Yeah, totally. Well, it was a very nice touch, and it felt huge, really, when you reached out and said, you normally wear size small, but you might want to size up. But is that typically it? Like size up one or two different sizes? If I'm ordering a pair of shorts or tights or shirt from XOSKIN, is it generally size up one or two?
Generally, the shorts seem to run smaller than say the shirts do.
Okay.
The shirts are very forgiving, especially the form fit category. They're just designed to hug the contour of your body. There's no lycra or spandex in the body of that shirt. So, for instance, I can wear, I'm 190 pounds. If I'm on the bike and I need a base layer, I can wear a medium.
Yeah.
I can also wear the extra large and it's not too big.
Okay.
So there's a wide range there in terms of how I can tailor the fit to how I want it to feel.
Yeah. Okay. Winter's coming up and I haven't dug too deep on you guys' winter apparel, but you guys have the tights and the long sleeve shirts and you guys have the like the ultimate base layer. That's what you guys kind of are. Your shorts, your tights, and every athlete needs a base layer, especially if they're out in the winter time. But do you have separate winter clothes, tights that are a little bit thicker or tops that are a little bit warmer?
The short answer is no.
Oh, okay.
So Rick's vision was for this to be all season. Now, that being said, the max compression version of the shorts and tights is heavier than the mid compression version.
Got it.
So in terms of, the yarn feeds going into a mid compression, there are two yarns that are knit together. Or the max compression uses 3. So it has that third layer of yarn. So if you want a little thicker tight, I would go with the max. Now we don't have full length in that version. We only have like a capri length. The shirts you can layer. So you could use the form fit as your base. You could put a loose fit over top, or a different form fit with a different sleeve. But there again, and I always tell people who are not accustomed to wearing our apparel, you need to layer differently, because that form fit long sleeve shirt has the thermal equivalent of, say, like a 300-gram wool shirt. So it would definitely keep you warmer. And if you overlayer, then you're just going to be a soaking wet mess.
Yeah. Yeah. But I've run in your max compression shorts in the summertime and they're also very breathable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it feels like kind of a heavy short, but it's very breathable. And like you said, it's like you're running without anything on. So yeah, they're just like magic, man. That's what they are. They're magic.
We've found the unicorn.
Yeah. And our mutual friend, Katie Asmith, I think is how you say her last name, who ran Western States this year. You introduced me to her and I had her on the podcast and she just said, yeah, it's my secret weapon. Like, if I'm really close with people, I'll kind of let them know about the XOSKIN world, but I almost want to keep it as a secret because it's my secret weapon at races, and I think she runs in the XO toes. So, but yeah, just fantastic stuff, man. So
there's a funny story there. She was a customer for a couple years.
Okay.
And had no idea.
Yeah.
And then, say, a month or two before Western States, she reached out and she's like, I'm getting ready to run this race. And obviously I know Western States. And I was like, yeah, I went to. So she used, for the Western States, she used the socks. She used our mid compression shorts under her Saucony kit. And she used our arm sleeves as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I guess that's a nice touch too for folks, guys who don't like to wear spandex. It's a good base layer. You can wear those underneath a pair of running shorts, right? Is that pretty typical, pretty common? Do a lot of people do that?
They do. Even more so now that we came out with our liner short or underwear.
Oh, yeah.
So that just came out in April. And that quickly became one of our most popular products. We're having a hard time keeping it in stock.
Mm,
And they're super lightweight, but supportive, but they're designed to be an undershort.
okay.
So obviously, none of our shorts have pockets in them. And over the past couple of years, a lot of people were wearing our shorts as like a letter.
Hmm.
So that's, Rick's like, I'm going to make underwear. And yeah, people love them.
Yeah, I've got to try
So
those. It's funny how, you guys started with a shirt, but now it seems to me like your exo toes and your underwear and your shorts are probably your most popular products. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
were you looking at my spreadsheet? No, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Socks, we call socks our gateway drug into XOSKIN, just
Yeah.
because they are the lowest cost item we make. And for the most part, everyone wears socks.
Yeah.
Um, um, Underwear, there again, relatively low cost. So, and as the word gets out about, more and more people being able to run long distances without dealing with the problems that they normally deal with, more and more people are coming into our brand and helping, spread the word. So, like we talked about athletes. I'll throw another name out there. I'm name dropping today. But John Kelly, I've worked with John ever since he finished Barkley.
Mm.
And full disclosure, I am not a runner. The furthest I ever ran, I did a half marathon once.
Didn't you do a lot of long distance bicycling at one time?
He did, and he still does.
Okay. No, didn't you though?
Oh, me, yeah. Yeah. My background is in mountain biking. That's my love, my passion in terms of athletics. But I'm a road cyclist just out of convenience. I started road cycling back in the early 90s just because when I got into mountain bike racing, all my friends were racing cross country, and I did okay. I was like back of the pack.
Mhm.
But I found that I love to go downhill really fast. So I migrated into downhill, and some of the best training that I found, just because in downhill, you're pedaling all the time, at least in the races. And back in those days, the courses aren't like they are now. So there was a lot of pedaling, and road biking lends itself to pedaling all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, the most I've done in one day was 188 miles.
Dang.
So
That's stout.
Yeah, thank you. That
So
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's not like you don't have any athletic background.
No, I've spent my fair share of time in the saddle.
Didn't you tell me about one time you were biking through Boulder, or were you on a motorcycle trip?
No, I flew into Denver and took the bus to Boulder. I have a buddy that lives in Grand Junction.
Okay.
And I took like 10 days. This was like 7-8 years ago. I took, a little bit of time, went out and hung out with him. The day I flew in, he couldn't come over to Boulder and pick me up. But I had rented a bike from a local shop there. But things got turned around. I took the wrong bus and ended up, what's the town next to Boulder? Is it Louisville?
Louisville, yeah.
Louisville.
Yep.
I leave the hotel in my riding gear, like my baggy shorts, my cleats, hop on a bus, and I'm supposed to go to this bike shop. I end up in Louisville, and the driver parks the bus and says, "I'm on break." And I was like, well, I'm not. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, "I'm on break. You're going to have to just wait till, I come back with the next bus." And I waited for a long time. and got frustrated. I started walking back to Boulder.
Oh,
So what? Some guy, he was like a county assessor, picked me up and took me back to Boulder,
wow.
and I ended up renting one of the bike shares and
Oh,
just toured around town and ended
yeah.
up what's like the U.S. Geological Survey up
Oh, up on NCAR or
yeah,
Chautauqua.
up on top of the like by the Flatirons.
Yeah, Chautauqua Park up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
ended up there.
Yep.
I was just riding this, I looked kind of like Pee Wee Herman bike, and all these cyclists were coming down. I was saying hi to everybody. I didn't get to ride in Boulder, but then I rode out in Fruita and Moab,
Yeah.
Durango.
Yeah.
You guys got some great riding out there.
Oh yeah, we do, man. We really do. We really do. Well, thanks for doing this, Kroy. Like, I wanted to talk to you, get to know you a little bit more, but I also wanted to figure out how to explain you guys' product to other people because it's that good. And I talk about it on just about every podcast. I mention you guys, but I have a hard time articulating. Like, I took this pair of shorts out on a camping trip in my van and I wore them every day in a row for like 5 days without washing them. And they're the best shorts ever. So yeah, this will help me to explain myself a little bit better.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, and I know, I started to tell you about John.
Yeah.
A lot of people want, and we appreciate you spreading the word.
Yeah.
A lot of people try and talk about the technology. It took me some time to get used to talking about it, but the easiest way to explain it is not to get involved with the technology aspect of it. I just like to say it keeps you comfortable in any conditions.
Yeah.
And the technology is there for the reason just to keep you comfortable. So like, when you put a pair of shorts on and you don't feel like you're wearing shorts, that's when we've done our job right.
Totally. Yeah.
John, when he set the FKT on the Kenai Way, or same trail, but during the spine race, just in the winter, John ran the whole thing and never changed his socks. He never took his socks off.
Wow.
Or the liner shorts or the tights that he was wearing both times.
Yeah.
There again, that's nail biting for me because I'm dot watching, going, oh, I hope, but yeah, that's what it is for me is being able to help somebody. If I can save you a sock change during a race,
yeah,
that's when we do a good job.
That's where you did it. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, I had some big plans for last year to do a couple long races, and I ended up with an injury, and I wasn't able to do those long races. I think I ran a couple marathons and a 50 miler last year, and I wore your toe socks, and yeah, didn't have to change them at all. I'm hoping that I'm going to be healthy next year, and I'm signed up for a couple more 200-mile races, Cocodona 250 being one of them. And
wow.
So, yeah, I am planning on rocking the XOSKIN kit pretty much from head to toe, damn near, because your stuff is that good. And especially a hot race where I'm going to be sweating in the daytime and cold at night. I think that your base layers are going to be perfect because I can put something over the top of them at night, or I can strip down and just wear your base layers in the daytime and stay cool enough, hopefully. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
well,
exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped, man. I'm looking forward to it. You guys have a website, exoskin.us. Is there anywhere else that we can point people, or can we point people to your site to like look for Christmas presents or anything? I know we mentioned that the wool toe socks are a new item that's coming out.
Yeah. Website and then social media at XOSKIN USA. But the website is where you order from. And just to let everybody know, we are running a huge holiday sale from now till the end of the year. So they don't need any discount code. Everything literally is marked down. So just come to the site, take a look around. anyone has questions, is it okay if I give my contact information out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
100%.
Yeah, you can email me at Kroy, so that's Kroy at XOSKIN.us. And my number's on the website as well. Call customer service. You'll either get myself. Sometimes Rick answers the phone if he's not tied up. So that's the best way for people to get a hold of us.
Okay. And you said you don't need discount codes. If like I want to order some Christmas stuff and I want to get on there and use our discount code BTC, is that code like null and void because you guys have already slashed the prices on your stuff?
Most likely, if you try and use a code, you'll probably get an error message.
Okay. Okay.
Just because the way we've coded the website is to not accept the codes. So yeah, I would say, here's what I would say to do. If you want to put like BTC in the comments, that would be appreciated because that way we know folks have heard about us from your podcast.
Okay.
The other thing I'll mention that we're doing during the sale is any order that is $95 or greater qualifies for a free pair of our toe socks. Oh. So what the customer is supposed to do, their order is $95. That doesn't include shipping. They put a comment in and they say, I would like a size 2 toe sock. They can pick ankle or quarter crew. They can list a color if they like, but we're using what colors we have available based on our inventory levels. But yeah, so 95 and above, get a free pair of toe socks with that order.
Awesome. Cool. Fantastic Christmas present for any runner or anybody into athletics in your family. I mean, this is the stuff. If you've got family members in the gym pumping iron, if you've got cyclist family members, skiing family members, running family members, I mean, this is the stuff, and they're going to thank you for it later. There's another brand. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. They're in Leadville, Colorado. They're called Melanzana. They make mostly sweatshirts, but they also make pants as well. And it's a small local brand. You can't order any of their stuff online. And now they're so busy that when you go to the town of Leadville, you actually have to make an appointment in person to come back in a couple days to buy some of their gear because they're just that busy. Oh, wow. But they make fantastic stuff, and this stuff just lasts. I have a sweatshirt from them that I bought literally 12 or 14 years ago, and it looks brand new, and I still wear it outside on huge adventures and wear it all over the place. But I've got a couple other sweatshirts, and like I said, to me, it's worth it to pay a couple extra bucks for something that's quality, something that's going to last for years, something that even ages well. You're going to have it for a long time. And I think that's what XOSKIN is. And you're not going to be sorry. You're going to thank me later if you order their stuff. So, yeah.
One final thing in terms of, when somebody tries, especially somebody new to our brand, we offer a full refund within 30 days. So and to us, that means you get the stuff, you try it out, you wear it for 30 days. If it doesn't work for you, we'll give you a full refund.
Yeah.
So,
which is perfect. I mean, that gives everyone a chance to try it. And if it's not for them, there's nothing lost there. So that is the ultimate business practice right there. You guys have got it down, man. It's like a small and sturdy business, but you've got it figured out. So hats off. And thanks so much for doing this, Kroy. I really appreciate it. And we love your stuff, man. So yeah, everybody check out XOSKIN.us. Christmas presents, all the runners in your family, load them up. This is the stuff. But Kroy, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing this.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you, Adam, for the opportunity to come on. And, you had asked me earlier in terms of goals. I think the biggest goal for me personally with the brand is to get to the point where I could get back out on the road and travel and go to races and meet our customers face to face. So I'm hoping, maybe within the year or so. I especially want to get out to Colorado and Utah.
Yeah.
So if I do, I'm going to need you to show me that hill.
Well, if you come to Colorado, definitely look me up. But I'm at a point with our business where that's kind of what I'm doing is I'm going to be going to all the races next year and putting in the work, being the boots on the ground, and just talking to people and trying to get the good word out about our business. So if you need some boots on the ground in Colorado and Utah area, man, we can work something out there too. But yeah, we'll definitely stay in touch, man. I love you guys' stuff, and thanks so much for your support with our podcast and our business. And let's just keep moving forward and doing big things.
You as well. Best of luck. We will definitely be in touch, and I hope you and your family have a great Thanksgiving.
Awesome. You as well, Kroy. Appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.